Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. We're in a different place of filming. Let me explain that real quick. I just got done taking thumbnail pictures and I really didn't want to set up my lights. It takes me about 5-10 minutes to do that because I do it solo. And I said the lighting's pretty good here, so it's not a tutorial swatch video. We're just gonna talk. And I thought, why not? Let's just do this. So on today's video, we're gonna be talking about former hyped makeup products that were very popular a certain period of time, and then over the past few years, some a little bit more recently, they kind of just went off into outer space. Like, where are they now? Do we know? Do you know? Are they still part of your collection? Are they hiding in there? Is it like this guilty pleasure that you dabble into but don't really showcase because it's not in anymore? Where are they now? I can't sing. I should stop. So I did make a list of a couple items. I didn't want to make this video too long, and I'm pretty sure that you guys will share some other items in the comments down below. And let's see what kind of product listing we can come up with. I'm pretty sure that we can do a great job together. Product number 1, Urban Decay Primer Potion. Do any of you guys still have it? And if so, do you have it in the squeezy tube or do you have it with the original doe foot applicator? Just like Urban Decay's Naked palettes, they have kind of, on 2 separate occasions, started a trend, with the first one being the eyeshadow palette. At that point in time, it was like you just saw a couple quads here and there, and we didn't really have a palette that you could make multiple looks with. And so that was the beginning of like the eyeshadow palette trend, I feel. And then they came out with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I feel like that was a starting point for primers. Nowadays, so many other brands have caught onto the trend and created their own primers that has taken the place of the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I think Urban Decay has kind of stuck to their guns and just kept with the primer potion, didn't really come out with anything new or innovative. And so once the trend of the primer potion died down, it just kind of, I felt just like Urban Decay kind of went downhill once their cult items weren't so cult anymore. So I do find myself wondering, where has Urban Decay's primer potion gone? Number 2 is Carmex lip balm. Once upon a YouTube time, that was the lip balm. You probably had every flavor that Carmex ever came out with. That was your go-to lip balm. And now there's so many other popular brands, and more so, I feel like popular makeup brands are kind of catching on to the lip balm craze. Like people use lip balms for multiple purposes, whether they wear it on a regular basis or they use it to prime their lips. And so you see popularized makeup brands creating their own versions of lip balms. And I mean, come on, in the consumer world, whether we want to admit it or not, brands kind of do matter. And you do have, is it called Jack Black or something like that, as well as Burt's Bees. I feel like they kind of taken the spot of Carmex, where I'm just thinking of videos right now, years back, when people just like will always put Carmex on. You had one somewhere in your house, you had one in your car, you had one in your bathroom, you had one on your makeup vanity. Now they're just nowhere to be found. And I was one of those people that kept it in multiple places. So, Ben Nye Banana Powder. I am taking you down memory lane. The Laura Mercier translucent powder, I think, was just coming up, and I had it around the same time as the Ben Nye Banana Powder. The banana powder was huge. But I think it also had to do in part with the fact that loose powders, translucent powders, and things of that such were just starting to come out. And now that we have different types with shade ranges that's a little bit closer to skin-like tones, the banana powder, the idea of the banana powder has slowly, it's drifted away into thin air. So I have not seen banana powder in forever. I did own it at one point. I remember using it and thinking that, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, it's literally yellow powder. what? It did not look good in my skin, and if I ever said that it did, I apologize. I did not know the errors of my ways. I was just lying to you guys. It's not a very good powder in terms of color. It could have done with a little bit of fixing, but have not heard from or of the banana powder in a very long time. Next up is a broader idea of a makeup product, and that's pot concealers. Yes, people still do use pot concealers, but liquid has taken over the game. And I remember at one point, the MAC Studio Finish, the one in the pot concealer, it was a big deal. And the Bobbi Brown, you guys know what I'm talking about, the one in the thin little opening, it kind of looked like a single shadow. At one point, were the epitome, the top, the most regarded concealer of the time. And the idea of having like full coverage but still easy to blend type of concealing, that was the trend. That's what people liked. But since then, we've come to a place where we prefer concealers that are a little bit more liquid. They come in tubes and they have a doe foot applicator. Like, that is the formula of concealers at this point. I still see a couple people using their pot concealers, but they are very few and far between. So I'm just kind of wondering, where are they now? Where have the pot concealers gone? I wonder. Next one is a tool. The tool being the stippling brush. Do you remember when the dual fiber stippling brushes were the craze? It was like the internet blew up when the stippling brush came. And the stippling brush came in different sizes, in different angles, in different densities, because you wanted your hands on a stippling brush. Looking back on how far the brush industry has come, I don't like stippling brushes all that much. I had quite a few of them in the beginning, but for me personally, the only use I have for a stippling brush is to apply my blush. That's it. I never liked it for foundation. That's probably something I lied about as well. I probably this is so good at blending. No, it's not. Compared to what I'm using now, the stippling brush is pretty much trash for foundation. I'm sorry to say it. It's just not my preference. I don't like it. Blush, perfection. I actually used it to apply my blush today, and it's a great brush for that. But at that time, it was kind of pushed onto us that this was the foundation buffing brush. This was the one to beat. And now I don't see anyone using it. You guys, I apologize. I'm starting to sweat because there's no air conditioner going on around here. If you're hearing one, it's from my room, and it's over there. The next three are just going to be makeup trends. First makeup trend, where are they now, is the cool tone smoky eye. We don't see that anymore. If we go back to the time, like the beginnings of YouTube, a dark black, gray, silver, smoky eye combination was at the top of the list of makeup application that you wanted to know, because the smoky eye, the dark, mysterious, very, I don't know how to say it. It's like classy, but vampy at the same time. Like, that was the rage, with the nude lip to go with it. And now that we've gone through quite a few years from that, now we're seeing the neutrals, we're seeing the glam looks, we're seeing colorful eyeshadow looks. You wanted to know how to do a black or cool tone smoky eye at one point, like a decade back. Don't lie to yourself. I can't think of someone that does it regularly. It's not the sought after makeup look anymore. And I'm pretty sure, with fashion and with makeup, things come back into trend. And I wonder when that eye look will come back into trend, because I remember that was the eye look. Next makeup trend is the huge eyeshadow palettes. And I know that a lot of beginner makeup users prefer to have larger eyeshadow palettes so you have variation and you're not just spending all your money on things that are popular but not necessarily know how to use them. So they're still popular in a sense, but if you look at what people are purchasing now, it's normally just an eyeshadow palette. I feel like we've kind of come to a point where your kind of perfect eyeshadow palettes range between 9 to about 15 eyeshadows in a palette. And that's like the sweet spot for eyeshadow numbers, where before you had these Morphe eyeshadow palettes. I think Sigma did a couple, you know, the Jaclyn Hill palette. They're huge palettes and it can be a little bit overwhelming. And since the makeup community has been out for so long, there's a lot of us who have dabbled into makeup and we already know what our makeup preferences are. And so we kind of like to keep it condensed, concise, and work around the colors that we choose to work with. So the eyeshadow palettes are definitely still there. They're just not as prevalent. Where have they gone? Have you decluttered them? That's a great question to ask. Have you been decluttering your huge eyeshadow palettes? Last one is a trend that I feel is just slowly getting out of being the in thing. And that is the matte foundation or lip look, particularly with the lips. Matte foundations will always have a place in kind of like the product line because of people with oily skin or people who generally like fuller coverage foundations, because when it comes to matte foundations, you're usually about that middle to full foundation opacity, is that the right word? But with the times now, you're finding more glowy skin, more natural looking skin, glass skin. That's a type of trend now. So you're gonna see a little bit of a decline with matte foundations, but it's really not gonna go anywhere. Where I feel that matte, like liquid lipsticks, particularly that range, it's slowly going out of trend because we're seeing the revival of lip gloss. We're seeing the revival of creamy lipsticks. We're seeing more of a powdery matte finish, which is when you kind of still maintain a bit of your natural lips. And so there's like no real space for the liquid lipsticks. It's still here. It's definitely still here. But if we look at when matte lipsticks became all the rage, I almost felt like there was a sense of this is never gonna leave the industry, like ever. Matte liquid lipsticks will forever have a stamp in the industry. It will always be as big as it is. And to see the decline of it, to kind of be a part of a time where you literally see the decline of something that revolutionary in the makeup community, it's interesting. Because when matte liquid lipsticks came up, I remember hearing so many people like, oh, lip gloss, like yuck, lip glosses are gross, like why do we need creamy lipsticks? And now it's like, man, I hate matte liquid lips. Like they dry my lips out, I look dead, blah, 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 blah. And it's an interesting thing to be able to see, like just the rise and the fall of a trend. So that concludes this video. I'm already like working up a sweat. I'm so sorry. Again, I just didn't want to fiddle with my lights, but I do hope that you enjoyed this video. It was something fun, but also a little bit of a trip down memory lane. And I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys did and would like to be updated with future videos, I hope you decide to click on the red subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it. This makeup look can be found on Instagram, first link in the description box down below, where I will post a photo with this makeup look with the full list of products in the description of all the makeup items I used to put this makeup look together. Till the next video, guys, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye, guys. Guys, are you seeing all of this sweat? This is disgusting. This is how hot it is. I have an air conditioner running in my room. I'm indoors, but I'm sweating bullets. Island life.